Hi, Dad. Hi, Gwendolyn. You know, we don't get together that often, so I thought that I'd give you a chance to tell us what's been going on for the last year. Let's start with, how's Carmel?
No, you're not turning this into the police, are you? The authorities won't have access to this?
Oh, if they know how to use YouTube, which is doubtful, they'll have access.
Oh, YouTubing.
Oh, my.
We could be YouTubed?
We could be YouTubed.
You could.
YouTubed.
So, Carmel, tell us, how's it been this year?
Well, I can only relate to very recently. The big news recently for us is that we've said goodbye to our lawn.
Oh,
We had it
wow.
removed. It was a question of whether the Gophers would get it first before we officially took it from them. But given the water has become liquid gold, and the Gophers were going at it from the other end, we foiled them.
And you had a pretty sizable yard.
Yes, there was quite a bit of grass out there.
So what have you replaced it with? I know you also had quite a bit of crops growing.
Yes, but we were replacing it with a different kind of grass. These are grass.
Sedges and
Yeah.
carrot.
When you say grass, I thought maybe some medicinal marijuana plants, right?
Oh,
That's
no.
our past.
With the leaves.
Our past.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think at least one of you being in your 70s, starting a grow operation at this stage of the game is maybe a little
Risky.
fruitless. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you could lose your bar license. I mean, it's a crime of moral turpitude.
You know, I last February, when it came time to pay my bar dues, I said I'll go inactive, and I don't have to pay any bar dues, and I can't practice law.
Well, you've been practicing for 50 years, and you know, at some point, practice didn't make perfect.
Never made perfect, but
How do you feel about that?
I actually feel good. It actually was an assist because every so often an email will come in about can you help us with this or that, and now I can just say no, I'm not authorized to do that anymore. Not licensed.
Gwendolyn, did Drew have a hard time letting go?
No, I think sometimes you don't know you're working up to something until you arrive there. And I think we have been so building everything else in our lives that by the time we let go of work, which I thought would be really hard for him, he was really ready. So he's transferred all the intensity to the garden. I will sit in our little guest house office and look out, and I'll see the top of a tree moving, and I'm assuming it's not walking of its own accord. So he's under it, moving it from one location to another and putting the grass.
Now, are you growing any edible
No,
stuff? No.
no,
No carrots.
no carrots. No, carrots come from stores,
Right. It's like fish.
and they're all cleaned and everything. That's right, like fish.
And you know, we buy tofu in nice, clean little plastic packages, so we don't have to think of all the soybeans that were sacrificed.
Exactly.
right.
And
To
all
make
the
that
water
The
dough.
sound of
going
soybeans screaming.
Hear them
is driving
screaming.
crazy.
No. So we've been taking advantage of things that go on in our community. Gwendolyn took a meditation class last spring that went through all of the different forms, Hindu and Buddhist and Christian.
And then
So
we
we're-
practice it. It was taught by a philosophy professor at Monterey Peninsula College, and each week he would discuss what the traditions were and how that particular meditative tradition had developed, and then we'd practice it for 2 20-minute sessions, and then the next week we'd go on to another one. And a group of about 12 of us were so interested in the meditation that we now meet once a month at our house to keep it
Nice.
going.
12 people.
Yeah, out of, I think, a class of about 30.
Do you rotate the various practices, or do you just stick to
No,
one?
each week we just try a different. We'll have different spiritual CDs that we listen to.
Okay.
We just finished Eckhart Tolle, listening to him, and then there's a wonderful retired nun who lives in our building here, and she kind of adopted us. And we'll come back, and she'll have poems by Rumi or other spiritual things for us. And she had a CD on Thomas Merton, which was fabulous, about his doubts and how he kind of migrated into Buddhism by the end of his life.
Interesting.
And so I bought that tape online because I so liked it, or the CD rather, showing my age. And we watched that at the last session. And then the same teacher is teaching a book or a class on the Tibetan Book of Living and Dying in February, so we'll be in that one, which is fun. So it's a whole new group of folks we've fallen in with. There are lots of retired professors on the Monterey Peninsula who enjoy keeping their hand in teaching, and so they have for older adults. All the classes are free, so we go to all those.
Of course, no one would ever have thought of referring to either of you as older adults.
I know, isn't that insulting? Maybe they do it so they can keep the class size down.
That might be it.
But if you live in Monterey and you don't golf, you have to find others of your ilk with whom you can hang.
Yeah.
And we find that that's it.
So you guys notice that I guess we can't call them Baby Drew anymore, but Drew and Steven, Josh's and Elizabeth's kids, still a little young, might not remember everything. So if 20 years from now they're looking at YouTube and seeing this video, start with you, Dad. What would you like to say to them?
Forgive yourself for everything you've done in the last 20 years. And just take it easy and live in the day. Be nice to your fellow travelers.
Find out who you are and then be it. Like watching Drew sit there and draw yesterday. I mean, the boy has talent. Mm-hmm. And in the old days, school would have taken that and decided that he should learn more about music rather than letting him do the art thing that she's got. So find your bliss and roll around in it.
Yeah, right. The bliss part I have a little trouble with.
You're blissful.
I am blissful, but that would be about it. And be nice to your brother.
Be very, very nice to your grandparents and step-grandparents.
There you go. If you're drooling right now, wipe it up.
Yeah.